So CMT is a group of genetic peripheral nerve diseases that are classified as a single entity, but actually are probably hundreds of different conditions.
So people have problems with walking or using their muscles, and it is also quite varied. Some people have a very mild form, and some people are in a wheelchair and can really even have difficulty moving their arms. But it's problematic for everybody who has it, even if it's something where you don't hardly notice it when you see someone walking. When you then talk to somebody who has CMT, you realize that they're doing everything they can to make it look like they're walking completely normally.
If you can imagine getting out of bed and strapping 10-pound ankle weights around each ankle and walking around like that all day, up the steps, down the steps, to the grocery store, the fatigue, the pure exhaustion, your mind gets exhausted. And then also, let's not forget about the hands. Opening a baggie without a thumb, that's what CMT is.
I think historically, thankfully, this is changing, but patients have really struggled to find a home, knowing that they have a genetic nerve disease, but not knowing other people who understand what that is, or sometimes physicians who know what that is. And the CMTA comes as such a relief to them to find this community of other people who've had similar journeys and who have similar goals.
Another comment that we often hear from patients who come to these CMT clinics is that their doctor or caregiver said, well, you have Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, there's nothing I can do for you. And that is totally false. The vast majority of people with CMT are really interested in developing cures for this disease that affects them and potentially family members, and it's by partnering with the CMTA that they can help bring that to pass.
The CMTA is the Charcot-Marie-Tooth Association, and it's a group of fantastic individuals who help support people with CMT and help do all of the research to help find treatments for CMT. And there's a mixture of staff and volunteers, but mostly it's a CMT community that come together to help fund all of our work.
It's by the patients, for the patients, so by the community, for the community. So we pretty much 100% funded by the people who have CMT and their families.
We meet you where you are, whether you just recently got diagnosed, you've been with a diagnosis for a long time. We have support groups, we have education meetings, we have a growing digital presence, a growing youth movement. We have a lot of resources that can allow you to feel comfortable with your diagnosis, along with a community that's growing that wants to help you with your diagnosis.
When you first find out that you have CMT, like what happened to us, you feel really lost and alone. And you have to reach out because it's very overwhelming at first. And we have all kinds of ways we can help you cope with this because we've all been through it ourselves.
Talking to my patients, I can tell how important for them it is to find a place where they know that people understand what they're going through, and really getting vital information even about their care, things that they should be looking for. And on the other side, just being able to join something where they can change their future in a sense, so they can fundraise, they can participate in studies and the research that's ongoing to find the treatments for CMT. I think it's also something that's very important.
The CMTA is just a fantastic support network. So if you've been newly diagnosed, when I was newly diagnosed, I had so many questions. So it's like, well, what's CMT? Or what does that mean? What type of CMT do I have? And the CMTA has answers to all of those questions, and they have them in so many different ways. So you can pick up the phone and talk to someone. You can go to a branch meeting and meet somebody face to face. You can join a social media group. So it's easy to say, reach out to the CMTA because there's something there for everybody, whatever your question or whatever your need.
Because it's a community, everybody is in it for the good of everyone else. And it doesn't matter what type you have, it doesn't matter what mutation you have. Everybody is trying to get to the end. And what the end looks like is hopefully a treatment and a cure one day.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You're a wild, wild group, but we are excited you're here. So we are really quickly just going to introduce the full-time CMTA staff members really quickly, and then John is going to give a welcome. So I'm Laurel Richardson, Director of Community Outreach.
I'm John Pastor. I'm the interim CEO of the CMTA and a CMTA board member.
Hi, I'm Kim McGee. I'm the Director of Finance.
Good morning, I'm Gina Sweeney, Chief Engagement and Gift Officer for the CMTA.
Good morning, I'm Sarah Cater, and I'm the CMTA's Digital Marketing Manager.
Good morning, I'm Sarah Gentry. I'm the Director of Technology.
Hello, I'm Catherine Forsey. I'm the Chief Research Officer.
Good morning, I'm Jonah Berger. I'm the National Youth Programs Manager.
All right, good morning, everybody. All right, that's the signal to the hotel staff to make more coffee. So during the introduction, as I mentioned, I'm John Pastor. I'm the interim CEO of the CMTA. I'm also a CMTA board member. I just wanted to welcome everyone here this morning, both here in person and virtually over Zoom. I know it takes a lot of commitment to make the trek and to log in and be here, and we just really appreciate everyone being here today. So I wanted to start this morning with a little bit of an anecdote, a little bit of a story. I think most of us are here for connection. We're here for community. We're here to learn about CMT. And so along the lines of connection and community, I wanted to share a story that could really only happen at a conference like this. Last night at dinner, many of you know Gina Sweeney. My parents are here. They were sitting alone at a table. Gina introduced them to someone else who Gina also didn't know very well, but one of the 200 people who is here at this conference today. And you know, when you make small talk at a table, you ask someone where they're from, you ask them where they grew up, you ask them what they do for a living. And it turns out that this random person who Gina sat at my parents' table is actually a cousin that I have never met. And we share a great grandfather who we now know had CMT, because it's the only relative that we share. And so this was someone who was born in the 1800s, who is our great grandfather. And so I was joking a little bit after that there aren't many conferences you go to where there's actually a chance you'll meet a relative, but this one might be one of those conferences. And so, but in all seriousness, and I don't know if I move to the podium if I need to use this microphone. I probably should, just so we don't get feedback. But I just wanted to welcome everybody here today. It's been a really exciting 24 months for the CMTA. 2023 was our best fundraising year we've ever had. The CMTA raised over $10 million in 2023, which is fantastic. And that level of donation really reflects on this community, the people in this room, the faith they have in the organization, the amount of money that we're putting into research. And so thank you so much for that. Since starting the Strategy to Accelerate Research, which is the acronym that many of you will hear referred to today as STAR, we've put over $25 million into CMT research, and just $5 million in the last year alone out of that $25 million. So this is an organization that continues to grow and continues to invest in what we all want, which is to find a cure for CMT. And so in terms of other things to be excited about, this is the largest conference, patient and family and research conference that we've ever had. There's 200 of you here in person. There's 300 of you logged into Zoom right now. So that's 500 people here. And the folks who are here really represent the diversity of CMT. Of those 500 people, 200 of them have type 1 CMT, 80 have type 2, 35 have type X, type 4, or other types. 70 of the people here don't know what type of CMT they have. And 80 of the people here don't have CMT at all and are here to support their loved ones, their friends, their family. So thank you all very much. I just wanted to acknowledge a couple folks, groups of people who, without them, this conference wouldn't happen. We have some great summit sponsors. They're Applied Therapeutics, Psychogenics, ActioBio, Allard, Turbomed. Some of these companies are here in person, particularly Applied Therapeutics, Allard, ActioBio. Please go out and see them, say hi to them, ask them about their companies, ask them how they're helping with CMT. We couldn't put on this conference and keep the cost low without their support. I also wanted to acknowledge the Summit Steering Committee, to recognize everyone's hard work. It's community members, it's advisors. They've been meeting monthly, sometimes weekly, to come up with the agenda. Their names are in the program, so if you see them and meet them here at the conference, please thank them for their volunteer effort to put this together. It truly takes an army. So just some logistics really quickly. The format of this conference is hybrid, so there's in-person and there's Zoom. And as we know, Zoom always works exactly like it's supposed to in every scenario. So there should not be any issues today, but in case there are, this is a hybrid conference, and so we're trying something new for the first time. We will have index cards for people in the room to ask questions. We will have the chat within the Zoom window for people on Zoom to ask questions. You're going to hear a lot of discussion of resources that are available for folks with CMT today. Those resources are listed in the program guide, so you don't have to be furiously taking notes necessarily. And again, we really appreciate the support of the vendors, Allard, Allied Therapeutics, Agronics, Angel Flight, Cozy Souls. They're all here to support the CMT community. Please go visit them. So we've got a really jam-packed agenda for today. We've got morning sessions covering neurology, genetic testing, managing CMT. We have a very important snack break at 11:15. We have a full lunch at approximately 12:40, followed by a discussion about the strategy to accelerate research STAR back in this room. And then in the afternoon, there's going to be breakouts by CMT type, followed by a return back to here. So the type 1 attendees have it easy. They get to basically stay in this room for that breakout. Type 2 and unknown types are going to be in Hastings, and type 4, Sword, and GAN will move to the Babson conference room. And then after all that happens, there will be another snack break. But before I wrap up and hand it over to Jonah, I just wanted to make a very exciting announcement. When I introduced myself, hopefully folks heard the word interim CEO. We've been working for the last 6 months doing a national search, trying to find a great new CEO to run the CMTA. And we found that person. So I wanted to introduce everyone to Sue Brune, who is here with us today. Sue, can you stand up so that people can see you? So Sue's first day was yesterday. So you should find your hardest questions and ask her. So Sue has Midwest roots. She did her undergraduate degree at Iowa. She has a PhD in chemistry from MIT. She's built her career for the last 30 years in leadership roles in biopharma companies focused on neurodegenerative diseases and rare diseases. So it's absolutely fantastic to have her. She has experience taking these pharma companies through acquisition, bringing drugs to market, getting them funding. And perhaps more importantly, she has a really deep understanding of how the patient community plays into the research and drug development process, and has a lot of experience working with patient advocacy groups like the CMTA. And so welcome, Sue. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. Okay, and without further ado, I wanted to introduce Jonah Berger, who you met a few minutes ago, but he's our National Youth Program Manager, and he's going to share some insights about our youth program, and then he's going to accompany the youth like the Pied Piper, kind of out of the room, and then we will continue with the conference. Thanks, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. It's always nice to have a nice ramp for people with CMT to test their balance on the way up the stage. Anyone who's able to get up the ramp can speak, and anyone who doesn't, so be it. It is so delightful to see a room full of our community. I don't see you, but I'm overjoyed at how many people are joining us on Zoom, including my mom who had back surgery the other day. Hi, Mom, love you. And the best news of all is that Sue and I talked this morning, and she assures me that I will now be Gina's direct supervisor. So she will be following all of my leads from now on, and I just couldn't be happier. I know you are too, Gina. So Nathan and Ashlyn, why don't you guys come up with me? I want to give you a quick chat about the youth movement. Over the years, we have had so much growth in the last chunk of years, and my start with the CMTA was taking youth groups out from the conferences like I'm doing today. It's going to be a tough day at the office, let me assure you. But after years of that and seeing the connection of the youth and how quickly strangers connected over something they had very deeply in common, the discussion came up to start camp. And Camp Footprint was born in 2016. We had 38 campers our first year. This past year, our 8th summer, we served 152 campers. Yes. The second year of Camp Footprint, there was a camper who came to me and said, Joe, I don't remember her name, Erin maybe? Erin, I think it was Erin. She's standing right back there, I'm kidding. Erin came to me and said, Jonah, I don't feel like the youth have a voice at the CMTA. And it was so correct that we, the admin team, started talking and decided it was time to develop an entire youth program. Thank God, because that led to me getting a full-time job. The week before COVID set in, I was hired full-time to work remotely. So serendipity. But ever since, we have developed a youth council who helps to develop and run all the programming we offer. We do all kinds of things during the year to keep in touch with the youth and to keep the youth in touch with one another. To represent and give you a quick update on the youth council side of the world is one of our youth council members, an amazing soul, Ashlyn Montesanti.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Ashlyn, and I'm actually from the Boston area, so I'm so happy that you guys are all in my city. But I'm a member of the Youth Council, as Jonah said, and this past October, last month, 2 weeks ago, and we had a Youth Council retreat, our annual one in Washington, D.C., where basically we just planned 2024 and came up with a bunch of goals and brainstormed new ideas for the coming year. So I just wanted to share some with you. So we have 3 different committees on the Youth Council, and that's social media, which I'm a part of, and then we have engagement and special projects. So on social media, our big thing that we're excited for is creating a youth TikTok account, because we know that TikTok is very big and kids are scrolling hours upon end, myself included, a day. So we're hoping to gain a wider audience through that. And then the engagement committee is working on a welcome committee project, which is basically when a new youth signs up for our database, they'll get direct contact and a phone call from one of our welcome committee members just to have that extra connection and like have a name to like go off of for the community. And then for the special projects committee, a big thing that they're working on is the Pen Pal project, which is again just another connection to have within the youth movement. So kind of like more of an old school version than just like texting. But those are just the big ideas, and we had numerous different things, but we would be here all weekend if I were to list those. And I just wanted to end off with what the youth movement means to me. And basically, it gave me an opportunity to embrace my CMT, because I feel like without knowing other people, then I would feel very insecure. So I've been able to open up a lot more, knowing other people and seeing how they did it. The first person that I got involved with the community was actually Erin Black too. She got like everyone involved. But yeah, that's just my part.
Awesome.
Hand it back to Jonah.
And to represent Compass, because our youth movement started growing older and people were graduating from the youth movement. And so in came Compass, which is our young adult connective program. And one of the leaders of that amazing new and growing program is Nathan Burns, and he's going to tell you a little bit about it.
All right, so hi. I'm really nervous. There's a lot of eyes here, but cut me like a little bit of slack. So what Compass is it's a community, and it supports 18 to 30-year-olds with CMT. And we host monthly meetings, and we're also working on in-person things. And we do this, the main goal of Compass is to create lifelong connections, right? And to just share your life with CMT. So with that being said, I'm gonna talk about what Compass means to me, and consolidating what Compass means to me in just a few sentences, it's an impossible task, but I'm willing to try it. I can see myself, by the way. So here we go. Oh, gosh. Compass has changed my life for the better, like in so many different ways. And I think finding that initial community and finding and meeting these amazing people standing next to me, I mean, these are the highest caliber of human beings you'll ever meet, because they're willing to share their stories and advice and empathize with you and share their experience of their adversity just so you can persevere through yours. And with that being said, also, it's created so many opportunities for me, like standing here speaking in front of all of you, nervously shaking. But that's just one of many. And then getting involved with Camp Footprint is another big one. And that taught me a lot of valuable lessons. Like, one second. Sorry. Not at all. Like realizing that creating limits for myself and pushing past these limits is possible, and also assuming my own capabilities, even though I haven't even give certain things a try, is it's not a way to live life, right? And that taught me that. And who would have thought I'd be like climbing on ropes? What was it? The tree course?
Yes, sir.
What? I'm doing that? Sure. But yeah, to keep it short, Compass has changed my life for the better. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it'll do the same for you, because everyone experiences life differently, you know? But I do implore you to try it. I do implore you to hop on a meeting or two and meet these people and draw your own conclusion, because, like, why not? What's it going to hurt? So I would drop the mic, but that seems mildly inappropriate. So instead, I'm going to say thank you for being patient and listening to me, and have a great rest of your day.
All right, you guys should go down. Thank you. These are the people it's my job to hang out with these people. Can you imagine being any luckier? I'll end by saying that we are not stopping. On the community team, our mission is to make sure to connect our community in every single way we possibly can. And we used to do it just for the adults, and now we do it for the youth. 10 to 18, and now we have Compass for 19 to 30, and now we're working on projects to connect the families of the little guys to get them involved right away. There is so much potential when you get people like this together. Connect them and get out of the way. That's our mission, and we won't stop. I promise you that, because it's changing lives before our eyes.